Welcome, ladies and everybody else, to the Psy Tai podcast. Whether you're a rock, an alien, a man, an animal, a dog, we all up in here about to just tie it on out. That's when we combine our minds with our hearts, see what our gut mind is saying, what it say. Let whatever come out, just come on out. That's how we do over here on the Thai side. Had to light up. I was going to wait a little bit. But y'all saw I was live first. I had to restart. I got all them technical difficulties out. And with that, cue this intro, right? I always make it do it twice, right? Connect. As always, y'all can join the Discord if y'all want to come and have a conversation with me, which is just talking about what's going on with the day or anything. But this one, I'm going to tie on mushrooms a lot. History or whatever research information that you got, how it helped you, or anything you ran across in ancient history through your own research or your own experience. This is research in the making. This is history, your story in the making. So let's get it all tied up together, all nice and dandy, and have a good old time. Make sure I got... All right, the Bluetooth is connected finally. All right, got that right. I like how when I'm talking out loud and I gotta do technical issues, I change my voice. Like, all right, now this the technical guy coming out. Like, all right, we gotta deal with this. Make sure the internet got the right megabytes transferring per second so the stream can go smooth. Is everything in the green? Sound levels check. 9 the red and yellow. Okay. But that's who we are. We make a lot of things, and that's what genius is, just unlocking a lot of parts of ourselves and having it all work together, like managing ourselves, managing the company that exists within us. But yeah, I came on this podcast right now to open up the line to talk about magic mushrooms and the history, and like I said, anything y'all got that's going to come up, because it's for people of brown skin like me. Especially a brown skin. Talking about these substances is really new, like new to the Americas, not to the African countries and the other countries where they have these plant medicines still going about using their daily way of living. But over here in America, it's really like taboo, or it's just not really done. It's not done. So when even I say some things that I'm subjectively sure about, I won't like put all the effort into it. And I see a lot of us do that as well. But then somebody else would come up that's like another fair skinned person or Caucasian person will come make a business idea out of it, or we'll talk about it in a way that's they like really interested, like I do on here. But I'm just going through all my slithers of personalities that come up at time to time, and because we all need to encourage each other to breed our own voice, because we really have to breed it, because we're so intertwined with all these other breeds that's going on, like a dog breed and stuff. Like we interacting with all these other ideas and thoughts, and we're going to become that. So now I'm breeding up our own thoughts, cultivating our own thoughts, and like weeding and out, saying I want to merge this one with this one and have this one going. I want to start weeding out that one. It's a little too slow. It don't run as fast or jump as high as I really want to. So I'm gonna go with this breed of thought and merge it with this one. It takes encouragement to do that. I was listening to an NBA player on the 85 South podcast, and he was talking about, hey, show your mom, baby. I don't know. I asked your mom, or wait a second, okay? Close the door, baby. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, I was listening to an NBA player, and he was talking about how the encouragement that he was telling himself allowed him to literally become an NBA player, like encouraged him to go. And he was saying if he had any thoughts along the way of saying, man, you can't do this or you shouldn't be doing that, then it would have really never driven him to the point. And I know there's other people too that will get over that and do that, and that's why we got different types of fire type personalities going on and different wills. That's why we all come together and do what we do. But he was saying it was just cool because it was also a cool thing how he was saying how he was short, and it was actually some people telling me you're too short to play basketball. But he said one night, and he said no lie, no lie, bro, no lie. He said I grew overnight. Like he grew in 3 days, and they had to cut the wood off the end of his bed so that his feet can still sit on the bed. So he like wished that he could grow taller in order to do his dream, and it actually occurred. And I know a girl too who said that she wished for boobs growing up, growing up, and she got them. And it came with all the best and the worst of it, with all the attention that come with it at a young age. But it happened, like grew overnight. She said her dad was like, "Are they gonna stop now? They're gonna stop growing now." So our thoughts and stuff, especially when we're young and molding, and even now when we get into these lucid states, I'm supposing, we're able to change things up in our reality, and even when it comes to physical things, because our thoughts is really having to play what's going on. And there's that wish factor, that wish, just make it, you know what wishes are. But yeah, when it comes to mushrooms and everything, they have them wishes on another level where it's not like you thinking even in terms of wishing. You like, this is just how reality works. I'm a magician, like, man. But yeah, when it comes to mushrooms, because people come to me now, I'm seeing people, some little friends that I'm coming across that's older, because I have a lot of older friends, they coming across mushrooms in their own reality. Like they probably talked to me about it 1 or 2 times, but they having friends come to them and bring them mushrooms, and or them asking other people for mushrooms and having these experiences. And so I want to have a show where we can tie on specifically mushrooms and stuff like that, so that we can point people to a way where like, hey, if you got any information, this was a dope ass podcast where we was tying on it. So if you got any information, you out there in the chat or anything, just type on any subjective facts that you have that can help anybody out, or history or anything. I want to get into some ancient history, because you know how the mind be working. We gotta get our mind assimilated with all this history, do some more breeding, and come up with these new thoughts and ideas, because the history we've been told is really, really whitewashed. Yo, Charles McPipe, that one for you. In ways that we've been turned whitewashed in the ways that a lot of people are not willing to accept. Hey, Gabrielle. Comet. That's how I read that. I thought it said DMT at first. But yeah, let me put these headphones in so I can drown out everything else. As we in the studio. But yeah, mushrooms was popping. Oh yeah, you're right, Kemet. Yeah, they didn't write vowels back then. They was a little too sacred. The vowels was like the more the feeling, more what you was feeling. And that's where the magic lies. That's how you make those wishes I was talking about before. Hey, Charles McPipe, you said, got a new breathing technique I learned from my man earlier today. Breathe in for 20 seconds, hold for 20 seconds, and breathe out for 20 seconds. Yeah, I can see that. It's going to take some people a bit of a challenge to get the breathe in for a whole 20 seconds. But once you get into that rhythm, I recognize it as something that's very beneficial. I was bringing up, Charles, how I was breathing for kind of like that. I wasn't counting, but I know it was longer than 10 seconds because I was trying to maintain my tooth pain. So, but all these little breathing techniques that I have, whenever I'm in a rut or in a trip or in a tooth pain, I just kick into just breathing. That's all I want to focus on. And my heart rate was down to 56 beats per minute. I got this little watch right here that's keeping track. And usually it's around the 80s, 90s. And my resting when I woke up was like at 58. So for it to be 56 all day, I thought it was broke. I mentioned this before. I was like, man, I don't know I know what's going on. I just didn't really believe it. And as well, your blood oxygen. Yeah, sniper status. You get real focused, tone in to what you're really trying to do. Because our brain is really thinking, or our thoughts is really moving a mile a minute, 10 miles a minute, really an infinity a minute. We creating realities that we're not even aware of. But when you really, in this reality, if you can, like Charles McPike, what you're saying, if you can get that breathing in and calm yourself to a point where you can build your body up to do it for 20 seconds, like that's a workout. It's a challenge. It's a mental exercise. It's a physical workout. And you start recognizing more of the gears that's going on behind the not even to go real far out, but just right here. Like, oh wow, yeah, I should go drink some water more often. Or I feel like, or just your thoughts, like you said, sniper status, like the wind is moving 5 miles per hour, 5 degrees due west, and I gotta angle it at like this. Like usually we probably like, all right, I got this. All right, I do this every day. Like, pew, and then like, oh, miss, oh. But really, like, I'm not to win, but we really keeping, our body is keeping track of so much measurements and calculations and going through so many different algorithms throughout the day that breathing really helps with getting in tune with that algorithm, learning what that algorithm is actually doing. Like learning the algorithm, like I'm learning for YouTube and stuff, so I know how to put what tags is there so it pop up in certain people feeds, or learn how to put my name in there and certain things that's associated with the Thai brand and stuff like that, and how they suggest videos to me, so then I can know what videos to click on. I'm reminded that I can click not interested in this, so that they won't keep recommending it to me, and I'll just be like, man, why YouTube keep recommending me all this bull crap? Like I had the power, if I breathe and go into and learn about the algorithm enough, to actually just turn it off. Yeah, Charles Luke, you say, yeah, I did my wind hoof breathing on 2 G's of albino cubensis, and man, I believe it, because that's what set and setting plays. That's how set and setting plays into this. The breathing technique. How do you study your breathing? Like, are you like rapidly like trying to hold your breath, or are you trying to catch? You feel like you're trying to catch your breath? Because if, just imagine, for those who haven't had trips, if breathing can get you to a certain place, imagine what Charles is saying, how breathing while on a substance that's already taking you beyond your thoughts, like trying to take you beyond your thoughts as much as you will allow it to, or it would just rip you out of it. But if you can breathe into it and just go along with the ride, like I think breathing is going along with the ride. Like you're just like, I just know all I gotta do to maintenance this body is just breathe, not worry about my hands moving, is my posture right, is my arms like this, but just the breath. That's how I'm gonna leave. That's the last thing I'm gonna most attention I'm gonna put into this body. And just let the rest of the gears flow, because everything is okay. It's all right. I don't need to worry about my posture. I don't need to worry about, well, I'm guessing you're laying down, or the person breathing is already laying down. Because if you like sitting like this, that's another thing, because you breathe in trying to get your mudras and everything right. That's still not, that's a whole nother form of concentration that bring about other abilities. But just breathing, letting go, becoming an observer is very awesome to practice before going into trips, because it would allow you to facilitate most of the trip for yourself. Because like you said, Gabriel, it's a technology. It's a technology that you could use for yourself to guide yourself through certain realms of your own mind or own thinking. Like say you in a trip and some trauma coming up, or you see something scary. If you wasn't already like, already, and you was like, when you see something else scary or something else pop up that you wasn't ready for, you're gonna start breathing more rapidly, like, oh man, I lost my breath. Like, no, you always had your breath. You always had it. So go to magic mushroom trips or DMT trips. Like we can all put out there as a team that it helps you get through. It's awesome technology to breathe during magic mushroom psychedelic trips. Gabriel Roach said, yeah, it got me out of some tough places. Tough places. Yeah, and that's what I learned for sure. Because then it translates as above, so below to here. That's why the journey of the psychedelic with the mushrooms and everything is so awesome. Because then it comes here, if you arguing or in a rut or anything, I'm like, let me just breathe. And sometimes it can get so challenging. Like, what do you mean breathe? I got this thought that's trying to come out right now. It's trying to exist right now. I need to say this. I am the channeler. When you breathe and like those thoughts come out in trips and stuff as like representations of whole realities. So if we can deal with on that level of creating things and breathing through things, it helps us a lot here. And that's when you see the transformation of people. Like it's this lady, I'm not gonna say her name, but she was telling me how she finally had a good mushroom trip. She only did it one time before, like when she's in her early 20s or something. But I'm believing now she's in her 50s, and she was just so over. I brought this up 2 podcasts ago. She was overjoyed of the transformation that she had without any of the like. She wasn't, and she said she wasn't in a rut afterwards. Like, oh man, what did I just do? Like, I feel good, glad I did it, but what did I just do, man? I don't know. But like, wow, I feel good. I knew that I could. I knew that I would. But who would have knew that this was the way? That this was the way that would transform me in a noticeable degree. That's what I was getting. That's the vibes I was getting from her. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. I was just tagging along. You release so much, said Charles. Yeah, you release so much more that you didn't even know could be released. Like, man, I thought this was me. I thought this was my personality without any apology. Just Tai. But yes, these are the awesome things that we've been reporting. And while saying that people with brown skin and people that didn't grow up around it and talk to people that never grew up around it, I'm not trying to push it on people or anything like that, but I'm talking for the people that's actually in the experience for themselves that don't have that much encouragement to go off of these new ideas that they have for themselves that probably are related to what I'm saying. And that's why I keep going on the show, because sometimes I'll be thinking I just thought of this or this just me, and then I come on the show, I tie a little bit, and I'm like, oh, you think like that too? Let's tie a little farther. Now let's take that idea to the next step. Now it's ready to go a little farther. And now when I run across a thought that's so-called weird, it's just like, that's what I was looking for. I was looking for the weird. So where am I shying? That's what mostly not running away from me, but shying away from it. Why am I shying away from it? That's where my power lies. Shouts to King Oz. He just uploaded a video. Create as the creator. Yeah, happy Spooktober, Exile. Happy Spooktober. I be on Reddit a lot. Hold on, I gotta bring this over here so I can see. I brought this over here. Oh yeah, to talk about this. I want to say we need to talk about these things more. So we have I was about to look up the word weird. Yeah, that's what it was. And shout outs to Exile that brought this up before. There it is, weird. About the origin of the word weird. Or a origin. Weird, or sometimes weird, W-I-R-D, is a term for concepts roughly corresponding to those of fate or destiny. So when you're being weird, I'm like, oh, you're just corresponding to your destiny, to some fate of yours. It don't make sense, but it's going to play out over this so-called time that we got to deal with that's so cumbersome to deal with. But that's only because we realize at that point when we say it's so cumbersome that we magicians and it don't exist. But in this reality, we chose for it to exist and deal with the consequences or the reality of it. Complex interactions of universal necessity and individual choice within a cosmic beyond or any fixed notions of concept of mortal minds. That's that wiki quote. That's what Wikipedia said. Fate or destiny, but not inexorable fate of the ancient Greeks. A happening event or occurrence. What does this mean? Impossible to stop or prevent. Yeah, it's a fate that's not impossible to stop. It's not, yeah, yep. And you get up to that level, like I said, you realize you're a magician and you're like, man, I ain't gonna hey, did my headphones just, oh, that's because they wasn't receiving any signal. I think they just cut off on me. That's pretty cool. You said, oh, we weirdos. Yeah. Feeling this Thursday. Oh, I used to know all of them. I was about to say what Friday was. I forgot what Friday was. Yeah, Thursday got a thunder. Oh, you doing a dry fast today, Charles? What's that? Is that? No, I'm thinking intermediate fasting. What's dry fasting? If you don't mind sharing. But yeah, that's what it come to with the mushrooms, because people say, man, that shit was too weird. Frida, Venus. Oh, okay. Thanks, King Guys. The guy, King Guys. No water intake or even water contact. Oh, dry as opposed to wet. English. I was trying to explain to my daughter silent letters. Like, why does knee have a K? Yeah. That's pretty cool. What's the benefits of it? Because I know my neighbor does that a lot accidentally. I'll be saying, you need to drink more water. It'll go a whole day, do all this stuff. But I guess it does get you in a certain tune. Because like when you in a psychedelic trip and you ain't hydrate, you zoned into something. And then once you hydrate, it's like a grounding thing. Like, whew, all right. But if you just let yourself go, letting the body work on what's going on the inside, kick into a different gear in order to survive or work off or burn, or not burning because it's not fat, water. Just tying. There we go. Hey, African 2102 from the future, bruh. How many world wars done happened since? Are we flying yet? In that reality? But yeah, in mushrooms, they'll have you saying a lot of weird things like you hear me saying. Just imagining just with the fates. Charles, you said, oh man, so many. Fasting resets the immune system by removing damaged cells, allowing the body to regenerate new ones. Additionally, there's evidence that limiting calories, but not water, improves inflammation, which protects the immune system. Oh yeah, because your body, I'm just figuring, I'm not a doctor. In another reality I am. But yeah, I'm seeing because your body will just start trying to fight. I mean, try to do what it got to do based off of the reserves that it has already, instead of relying like, all right, I know around this time I'm gonna get this, so it's taken care of. Like somebody coming into your house and just living off of you. Hopefully having a good day, King Guys. I saw you upload the video. I shouted it out. Creating as a creator. which is what we got to do. Talk the talk, walk the walk, envision the lit, envision and move. Envision with no division. There it is. Envision with no division. But yeah, the mushrooms is helping a lot of people rejuvenate their lives in unbelievable, weird ways. And for some of us that talk about it, who are already experienced the other side, a lot of people won't really listen to that. But that's why that's why today's times is changing, and you got folks like us that's just gonna keep talking regardless and use platforms like YouTube. I'm building a website now, the Just Talk Now website. I bought the domain a couple days ago, and I'm building a platform so we can get these ideas out, because I'm seeing what we really are now, who I really am, and or at least what role I'm playing out, because as they say, it's nothing new under the sun. Everything playing out now has been played out before, just in a different way. In a different way. When in the simulation and stuff, a different simulated experience, a different rules, but the same set of ideas. Like GTA been the same since GTA 1 with the bird eye view. And now we on GTA 5 on our way to 6. And it's the same feeling, different graphics, different missions, different ideas, more different kind of interactions to happen, and different algorithm. Overall, a lot of different algorithms at play, more advanced algorithms, but the same feeling is at play. The same type of things is going on. Hey, King God, you said life has been well. Business been good. Life has been life, but I've been well. Just had to step outside of people for a while. Dope content and breakdowns for sure. Hey, for sure. Thanks, bro. Keep on working. Keep on doing what you gotta do, bro. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't think so much about what you gotta do. If you gotta dip. You gotta dip from them punches sometimes. Don't just keep on taking them. Like, I can take it. I got this. I'm strong. Strength comes in many different manners. In many different manners. What was I talking about? Let me sip some water. Sorry, I'm tempting you, Charles. Or hopefully not. I'm just messing with you. But yeah, that's what I was saying. Going into creating spaces and knowing who I really am now. I mean, not who I really am. That's always said. I'm trying to be talk too definite right now. But the role that I'm playing out in reality, because this been going on since ancient times, and even in our history that we can take from these Greeks and even from the Africans and stuff like that. But I mentioned the Greeks because somebody was on Joe Rogan podcast yesterday, and he never did any psychedelics or any smoked or anything, but he studied ancient languages. And he's been doing it since he was 18, and he's 30 now. So when he's in there, and in between, he ran across Graham Hancock. And he was like, oh, wow, the psilocybin and the ancient mysteries and the mushrooms and stuff is interesting. So he did all this research, just came out with a book and did all this stuff that we be talking about, but he hasn't had to experience it yet. So in the reality, it's going to be wild how people listen, like how the reality is going to play out with his book, because they're not going to see him as this cuckoo drug addict, but somebody that's non-biasedly looking at the evidence, which I'm doing as well. But you know how it is for people once you actually have the experience. But things are changing because the Tai'versation, where we combine in our mind with our heart, seeing our gut mind is saying let whatever come out, is finally being had, where the dots are being connected. Where just like, if you want to believe that, you can believe that. This is what we believe. This is what they believe. This is just the remix of reality that we are coming up with. And for us, people don't like to be confused. So we're going to look back into ancient history. We're going to look into our history. We're going to look into our experiences. We're going to look at things through a different lens, and then really see how things going on, because things really did play out how people changed history. It really did play out like that. That's why we're here. But still, the other things happen. Other things happen along the way, and it's like you got to be in this certain frequency in order to tune into that particular thing. It was a guy, Gabriel, you watched the podcast. He was mentioning how when the Christian era, and this is facts, this is not me like feelings and stuff like that, or say, man, fuck those people, but the mysteries of Eleusis, that was the only reason why Plato, Socrates, and all of them cats came up with all the weird jibber jabber that they came up with, which was pretty awesome. I just say jibber jabber because everything is funky to me. But the philosophies that people spend all their years and thousands of dollars going to college to study and stuff, they only knew because they participated in this thing called the mysteries of Eleusis, where some people only had it once in a lifetime or once a year. But it was a thing where they inhaled gases or a potion or ergot or beer or something like that, or wine, and they met a goddess and they was taken out of their body and brought to another realm and came back with these cave fire shadow philosophies. Like, man, is it the fire that exists, the shadow that exists, or is it something casting the shadow and that's the reality? And perfect squares don't exist there. Is this every square here is but a reflection of a perfect sphere and stuff like that? Like all they was just tying. They was just tying. They just had a lot of know-how behind them, not a lot of skills from whatever they was already learning to incorporate it into math or create philosophies and stuff. 'Cause there wasn't much going on. They was the YouTubers. They was the like they said, the philosopher. They was the people that was talking the most. They was the people, because I go around and when people hear me talk, I'm like, I don't think anything I say is special. I really don't. But I'm seeing how most people just in their reality just didn't encounter that thought yet. That's it. So when they hear me say, they just now encountered that thought. That's all. But I be thinking, I'm like, man, I must been thinking a lot for a lot of years. I've researched and been doing things a lot more than I realized, because I just be flowing with it. But Gabriel, you said LMO. Yeah, it's no different than what you and this community do today. No, it's not, and that's what I was realizing today. Like, for sure. I said it's the same thing. I said they just like to talk. They just like to talk and had some skills that they learned when they were still out in the world. So they was able to blend it in. That's why I'm saying nowadays we can have more of a presence and not just have our things go underground and just be taken over by other people in terms of how I be feeling. Because sometimes I will do ideas and come out with stuff, and then I'll go hard and stop, and then somebody else will probably catch wind, like literally catch wind, like the wind just be blowing ideas into people's heads and stuff like that. They used to say the devil whispers. I'm listening. What's up? But I'm in the wind. It's the air and stuff. But doing ideas and carrying them out into their full fruition. I was watching a documentary on Netflix, and they was talking about the fashion and hip hop and stuff like that, and how it was a lot of people recreating the jerseys and remixing the Gucci's and putting patches on them and like really making it fly, like how they would put it, like on point, like the best. I'm trying to touch all the neck of the woods around that I'm talking to, but it was the shit. But they was getting shut down because what they was doing like wasn't really legitimized, and they didn't, and a lot of people wasn't really like. It was one person though that he made a jacket, and his friend of a friend knew Rihanna, And then they passed the jacket on to Rihanna, and he's like, man, I just make jackets, it's no big deal, and stuff like that. But it was really cool. He just didn't really believe in himself. So then when we saw Rihanna with it, he's like, oh, this is the fire I've been looking for. And he just went and built the website that he said, I built the website that day. And then now he making a business of designing clothes, his own clothes and stuff like that. So getting on it, getting on the fire. And like you said, I thought it said Prometheus for some reason, but he just spelled fire like that. same concept, just carrying the torch. The Olympians, the Olympics, and all of that stuff. But yeah, the tie on everything too with the mushrooms and new research that I was getting from that guy, and what my research as well, the mysteries of Elysius, and these people that were tying back then because they experienced something unbelievable that still made perfect sense in a way that was incredible. So it's research now. Ergot back in the Salem witch trials was what a lot of people blamed the Salem witch trials for, and I did that podcast typing just time now Salem witch trials and stuff. I was getting into how we was witches and everything, dealing with these substances. And ergot grows, for those who know, grows on rye and like wheat and stuff like that, and is hallucinogenic, is psychoactive at enough doses. Like if you get enough in there, you're going to see some things. And they was theorizing that it came up on the bread around the time, and there was certain people eating and having experiences, and people at the town. Oh, now I remember what I was saying before. I'm sorry, guys, that I'm jumping around. Sorry, guys. Apologize very deeply. But I'm gonna come back to that story. But I was mentioning how the mysteries of Eleusis and how these people and the Christians shut it down. That's what it was. The Christians shut down the mysteries of Eleusis. So now it wasn't anyone being in contact with something beyond something, anything that they could see with their just two eyes. A new law was put in place, and the emperor at the time said that, I'm not good with names, so I'm not going to try, has said that any rituals and stuff that's done at night is outlawed. And that's when these mysteries happened. Because take a trip in the daytime with mushrooms and take a trip in the nighttime with mushrooms, and it's a vast difference. The setting, for me at least, is different. Like, I'm more focused what's going on around me and stuff, probably unless I take enough. But in the dark, silent darkness was where I had my experience of traveling, of interdimensional travel, and getting a lot of things healed within my psyche, or revealed within my psyche, and left for me to heal and stuff like that. The game still goes on. But yeah, these mysteries was literally shut down during the Christian era. Yeah, it threatened the priest hierarchy if you had the right contact. They wasn't having it. Eleusinian. Oh, yeah. All right, Eleusinian. That's how you say it. Thanks, Exile. There it is, right here. I was trying to find it to spell it earlier. Show some pictures. Stretch this across. Bang, bang. Lift this up. All right. Where initiations were held every year for the cult of Demeter and Persephone, based on the Panhellenic sanctuary of Eleusis in ancient Greece. They are the most famous of the secret religious rites of ancient Greece. Notice that they put the most famous too. I like that they point that out, because there was so much going on around the excuse me around the world, in Africa, all the countries in Africa, and the Netherlands, and the Vikings, and even in Greece, like the people that was hiring Plato was probably had their own things going on, or the people that just didn't give a fuck to blend in with society had their own little thing going on. They didn't have drones back then and phones back then to say, hey, these people went over to this side of the mountains and they trying to start their own thing. You probably get found out if somebody like Alexander the Great try to come over and conquer you, or some neighboring conquerors trying to expand their territory. But other than that, you can just escape, do your own thing. All right, here it is. Yeah, so it was once a year, and this was a cool thing because they said, I don't want a membership. Oh my gosh, dude, they straight kicked me off the site. Hold on, sorry about that. Continue to site. There we go. This was published in January 2012 by Joshua Mark. All right, shouts to Joshua. It was something I just read. Oh yeah, how they had to walk 14 miles to get there. So this was something that was really, really important, to walk 14 miles. No, I have not experimented with pyramids yet, XL. Here, this doctor guy saying the rituals are based on symbolic readings of the story of Demeter and Persephone, and provided initiates with a vision of the afterlife so powerful that it changed the way they saw the world and their place in it. That's how powerful it was. And that's what we hear about the psychedelic experiences. Yeah, exactly. You mean like being in the pyramid, holding a pyramid-shaped crystal, or envisioning a pyramid around me? I've done that. I envisioned a pyramid around me before. Participants were freed from a fear of death through the recognition that they were immortal souls, temporary in mortal bodies. In the same way that Persephone went down to the land of the dead and returned to the land of the living each year, so would every human being die only to live again on another plane of existence or another body. Oh, Charles, you said you got 4 of them. If you were on Truths yesterday, I told you about my 3-foot copper pyramid. Oh, yeah, I missed that. That sounds awesome. What's your experiences in there? I know you did some mushrooms in there, Charles. Yeah, 3 feet is enough to sit down in there. Sit down, get cross-legged, get comfortable. Once I get, yeah, I'm gonna be building everything. Yeah, you guys send over those blueprints if you made it yourself. I would like to have them in the bank, so when the opportunity arises, just hop on it. But this is cool how they I was seeing how the Lucius mysteries, how it's so similar to the psychedelic experiences. Are you in the Discord, bro? Hold on, I got to turn back on the Bluetooth. Hey, Exile.
Yo.
Can you say something one more time so I can make sure they can hear you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Everything
Yes,
is
sir.
fine and dandy. Hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming by.
For sure. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for creating this and doing it. I appreciate you.
Cool. What was on your mind?
You asked for specific dimensions, I got blueprints in the tech channel for you.
Oh, all right. And Charles, he said, opened the portal, helped another universe, teleported 3 seconds in the future. Then Shrooms told me it was not needed. You are the pyramid. That's what I said. I visioned the pyramid before. But that's cool, helping the universe, man. We gotta tell these stories.
He told it on True's channel last night.
Oh.
Or yesterday.
What did you need to help them with? Keeping the structure of their whole reality together? Or was it like personal, like human stuff going on? Or alien stuff going on? Whatever it is going on over there.
Let me get that Discord link. Get invite. Here's Ty's Discord.
Yeah, I'm glad you said teleported 3 seconds in the future. I'm telling it probably was real apparent too. Real apparent. And once you have those experiences jumping into the future and stuff, if you start tuning into that stuff, it don't really cut off. It don't really cut off, Charles. I've been experiencing a lot of things and I'm noticing I've been saying it out of my own like personality and trying to recognize it to myself when I tell stories to other people. I'm like, yo, I was thinking this, or I was this, and then this happened, and they said this, and I'm like, yo, like, where was I when I was thinking that? I was not here. I was. The evidence is becoming very awesome. So let's go to the tech channel where Exile posted some blueprints. Let's open it up so y'all can see what we are looking at. Got a whole shift screen, stretch that over, pull that up. Cool.
Here, I'll give you the exact PDF. I'll give you the exact PDF as well. It's in my Google Drive, but I'll copy the link. Here's the link to the PDF. This dude, Les Brown. You can look him up on YouTube. He's got a couple videos. He's pretty cool. Older dude. The video looks like it was shot with a VHS in the 80s or 70s.
What's his name? How you spell it?
Les, L-E-S, Brown, like the color.
Got it. He has a website.
Yeah, I posted some sizes. So if you want to build a 3-inch, 6-inch, 12-inch, 4-foot, 8-foot, or 16-foot high pyramid, you just need to measure out some sides and the base, and then assemble those.
Gotcha. What is that? The Pythagorean theorem? You know,
you
what
can
ratio
use
they
that.
use?
You can use that, right? The pyramid. So the Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds
so
like high school.
Those would be the three sides of a triangle.
Yo, am I on?
Yo.
Can y'all hear me?
Hey, loud and clear. Hey, Charles,
yeah, hey, I would advise. Hey, yeah, no doubt, man, no doubt. Yeah, I ordered my pyramid from a cat in India. It took probably like 2-3 months to get here. But I mean, you can definitely. Whoa. By the time it almost got here, I was ready to build my own by then. Anyway, because it was taking so long. But yeah, if you do get one, I would advise doing one larger than a 3-foot by 3-foot. You know, because it's a little tight in there.
Yeah,
a little tight in there.
I did the math on about a 7-foot one, and I posted a picture. The dogs would go and just chill under it. The grass would grow towards the center of it, and even now to this day, you can go there in this old house, and there's a square of grass that grows right where the pyramid used to be.
Yeah, it's undeniable. You know what I mean? You can do your own tests with it. And I've seen like people on YouTube do tests where they put like some fruit in like a regular house like we would live in, and they put some in a pyramid and they just left some out. And the pyramid like maintained the fruit the longest, without it getting moldy and stuff like that. So I mean, there is energy to it. When I got my shrooms, I put them in there for a day and a half and just let them kind of, get the power of the pyramid in them before I even took them boys. So yeah, it's different things you can do with it. My cats like sitting in the pyramid and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely I don't even want to say next level. I don't know.
It's
a craft.
Yeah, you put all the attention behind it, the imagination into it. That just spark up once you get the shrooms popping, and just naturally already.
Yeah, what I was saying yesterday, Ty, is so I had went in and I'm like, I'm probably a good hour and a half into my journey. And I'm like, all right, it's time for me to hit the pyramid. And as soon as I went in the pyramid, it was like a tear opened up in this reality. And I was looking through and I could see the people on the other side. And they were like higher level from where they were from. And they were like, yeah, hey, there's this tear here. And I just knew innately, like, all right, I got to help them repair this tear in the reality, because this obviously reaching over to our side. So I can't remember how I did it exactly, but I helped them, repair the tear, and I closed it up. And something I forgot to mention on True's thing yesterday is the time travel. You know how things be like on your journeys, it's more of a feeling, it inside, as opposed to like something visual or something that you see. And like I felt it like boom. I said, oh shoot, like what just happened? Like my music even skipped. And I was like, all right, it like went forward. That was kind of like my indication, but I really felt like, hey, I just went ahead 3 seconds. Now, and all the time I listened to my computer audio, because I had my headphones going on to my computer. I was in my bedroom, in my man cave where I got my pyramid. And throughout, man, it's been what, 7-8 years I've had my computer and everything, and like it's never skipped. Every time I listen to music, it's never skipped. So this one time when I was like, man, I think I really jumped forward 3 seconds in time. Like I really felt it. I really felt it.
Oh, in that way. Wow.
Yeah. Like I really felt it. I'm like, oh shoot. So from there, so I'm in my pyramid and I got my 4 little argon pyramids in there with me. So I got, like I'm double duty on everything, you know what I mean? And it was just, after that happened, it was just like, like another awakening. And I just bust up in laughter, and it's just like such a release. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even know I released the stuff I didn't even know I needed to release. And it's just like going deep with it. And my cat looking at me like I'm crazy, and I'm just sitting there dying laughing. So like part of my leg bumps one of the legs on the pyramid, and the pyramid falls down over me. So I get up and I'm like starting to put the pyramid back together, and now I'm like, I'm first person, but you know how shrooms can put you in third person. I'm in the upper corner of my room, looking at myself start to put the pyramid back together. And it's like I came down and just thumped myself in the forehead like, look, dummy, it's not about the pyramid. It never was about the pyramid. It's all internal. And I'm still trying to put it together. I just like let it fall down again and just die in laughter again. Like, oh man, it was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Like I'm searching for something, but it's already here. It's already internal. What are you searching for? It's already in you. That's what came to me. It's already in you.
I think, yeah, that's awesome, Charles. You had to repair the rip to their reality. That's what I was thinking in my head. I was like, did he have to like help fix their reality or something?
Oh, you know what it looked like? It looked exactly like there was like a blue hue around it. It looked exactly like if you've ever seen Umbrella Academy. Like when he would like travel, boom, and like the portal would open up and would have like that blue shimmer kind of around it. And like people, it almost look like it would almost look like there's a stream of water going through. Like you can't see the other side clearly, but it almost looks like there's a stream of water like in front of you, like you're looking through a waterfall almost.
I just pulled it up
It
now
looked
on
exactly like that.
there it is.
It looked exactly like that. Yeah. Mhm. And then the shrooms told me, cause I caught quite a bit from my man. So, I've been following Kalindi Lee. I look up to him for, somebody that's went real deep. So, I've been wanting to hit them higher levels, and this was just 2 grams that I was on. But they told me,
That's what I
they
was
said, "Hey,
thinking.
look," they said, "We already know what you're thinking about doing, but you don't have to do that. You can go off of 2 grams. You don't have to do them higher doses. You don't have to do it. Like it's all here. You don't have to do it." And I was like, man. Yeah. Hey, but I guess another thing too, since you missed yesterday's, I might as well tell this to you too. One of the
Let me
one of the
know.
most amazing things happened before I even went into the room with the pyramid is I was outside and I did my Wim Hof breathing technique, and I was able to reach that DMT state. Like when you do DMT, I'm not sure if you've done DMT before, but you either have like when you go in, if you don't go like deep and you don't cross over, there's like a certain like almost like this room where you end up in like this domed room, and there's other beings there, but everything is kind of like transforming and it's like all liquidy and it's like the colors are bright and vibrant and everything's like folding into each other and changing shape. I was able to reach that state twice doing the Wim Hof breathing technique. And I was like, okay, so these are just like the mushrooms opened you up, and then like through your own capacity, you can go like specific places, reach
Hmm.
like certain levels. So I thought that was real deep. So I'm like, all right, that was amazing. It was amazing.
That's what I've been. Yo, that's awesome, Charles. That's what I've been. The similar experience I had to relate to you is the mushrooms just exposing things like spells and breathing and all this other stuff that was already out there, and like saying, hey, yeah, you can do this. Like when you was mentioning with the pyramid, I was thinking about wands and stuff and my experiences
Mm,
with them and reading all about them, how they channel your will, and you gotta create one that's specified to this or go with the feeling and get the pinnacle and the cup and stuff, like getting your ritual objects and all
yeah.
of that. And then when I watch cartoons and getting into the experience with the psychedelics, it would be like saying that's ways explain the way I explain it to myself, I guess, after all of that is what just things along the journey to convince myself that it was actually real and can happen. So like we play out
Hmm.
rituals and stuff on earth to like channel what we already know we can do and stuff. Like Gandalf didn't need a wand afterwards when he was Gandalf the White. I think so. I don't know. He probably did. But I'm thinking like when you start leveling up, you start doing more things with your mind. It's this book Magicians that I'm reading, and
Okay.
the well, I finished it actually. No, I got 2.5 hours left. I thought I was done. But they mostly use magic by moving their hands and doing mantras, and like they be dancing with their fingers, and they practice years and years trying to learn how to move their fingers in order to channel powers and do spells and stuff. But one of the smartest people in the book, Penny, he went to the Netherlands, which was this place where you can travel to all the different worlds. That was the main like hub to all the different portals. He got honored enough to work with the librarians there, so he got to learn all these special magic techniques and all this other stuff that other people wasn't hip to. And he lost his hands when he was fighting right before he got there, so he learned how to do things in a different way through his mind and through like twitching things in his blood and his muscle movements and everything instead of having to use his hands. So I'm just seeing how it's in the magician world, there's different levels to how we channel our spells and go to different worlds and stuff like that. And then eventually, as I heard in my ultimate trip, and as you saying now, we should be able to eventually just do it just through breath, through a single breath, our next imagination thought. It's just like, oh yeah, this just popped out of nowhere. or on
Yeah.
flying or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me
Yeah,
go to
what's
this
deep
world real
is
quick.
yeah, what's deep is probably I started doing a Wim Hof probably like it's 3 months ago now. So day 2 through 5, um, like when I was doing it, I would reach this certain place and I'm like, oh shoot, like okay, I think I may be releasing a little bit of DMT. I said, because this is a place I've been before, and I said, where was I here before? And a year prior, my girl had took me to a breathing class, and I remember like this is where I went when I was in that breathing class. Of course, that was the first time it happened, so I thought it was just my imagination. But now it's like I go back to that specific place and it's like, okay, this ain't my imagination. This is an actual
Nope.
place that I'm going to because I've been here before. And I'm like, okay, okay, okay. So yeah, you can release it naturally. But it's just next level when you with the plant medicine.
It is, and I think mostly the thing is how much it pushed back the thought. How people say they search for ego death and to push back the ego and stuff. I think what I'm really searching for, or what I get out of trips, is pushing back the ideals that's the program that's running in the forefront. Like as scientists would say, in the prefrontal cortex, like the main thing that's talking, is like push back all of that. And like what is walking? Like, oh man, I don't even know what walking is. So I can get to see what thing is from a innocent, childlike point of view, where we always hear magic exists in the eyes of children. Like that's where, like you said, you thought you was imagining, then later you saw that it was real. To a child or a magically adapt person, is like, yeah, that is a place. Like kids come back saying, I saw monsters in the room and stuff like that, or they come back telling you dreams so vivid and scary or something like that, that now they want to sleep with you because they think their bed is a portal to that world, which it was in that moment.
Yeah.
So thanks
Yeah.
for
Hey,
sharing.
magic carpet. You get on a magic carpet, do your breathing technique or whatever. Like, yeah, the magic carpets will take you. You know what I mean? Oh, magic
So
carpets will
whatever we
take you.
make it is what it's going to be. That's what I be learning at
Yeah.
some level of magic. Like you can make anything work to your imagination. We just got to work with our programming, and that's what the magic mushrooms are doing. It's like bringing me back out of it so that the thoughts, because I think, wow, I think things that I'll be telling myself I need to put into play way more, and then I'll be seeing I already am. But I'll be thinking that it's wild. It's a wild loop. It's a wild loop. But
Well, certain things have certain resonances here in this realm. It's not just everything you make it, because a grill doesn't have the same properties as a pyramid.
Right.
yeah, because that's what we think. That's the same. The mushrooms.
Yeah,
Push it
test
all
it out.
back. Yeah.
Yeah, go test it out.
But yeah, because with the and it would probably only be if you really sorry, if you was really reprogramming your brain with that intention to do that specifically. Like that's how how powerful reality is. Like some people throw sticks on the ground, like you were saying, and get a
I think
divination off of that.
I just like go talk to the Baphomet, like go talk to the jesters. There's certain things that are in line in this realm. That's just how
Yeah,
the
it's
way
so
that this realm
programmed.
works. Right.
The way
So
the
a
developers
square is
programmed
not
it.
a square is not a circle.
Mm-hmm.
They can be displayed differently. And me and you are speaking together, even though we exist separately.
This is all going on in the I'm just tripping because this is all a conversation with self right now.
Right.
The three of us thinking that we separate. That's what I love about it.
It's
Being at
all
the
going
level we
on.
on. I love it. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man.
If you look
But
to
I agree
the
with all of y'all,
Russians
and that's how the magic work.
and the Les
Mm-hmm.
Brown material, like there's actually, you put a pyramid over, like there's a guy in Illinois that built one, and then water started surrounding his whole area. in Russia, they did experiments over oil wells and became more profitable and pulled up more oil. And they put them in geographic regions where there was tornadoes or hurricanes or heavy storms, and those dissipated. So there's things like permaculture. Like you go to a island state or a desert state, where the land is desertified. Every time it rains, it just washes away, or dries up, right? And there's certain ways to actually change that. You're doing it in your mind first, right? Yes, you're creating this intention in your mind first. So it is a mental activity, but there are things that you can do that have resonances here. So it's with the yoga and the soma. It's not just with the taking of the magic or the knowledge of the magic. It's with the walking of the magic as well. I think you were talking about that earlier with King Oz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand. I understand using the tools available to channel to channel things from, as they say, above. And the things that's in place already so ingrained into the system that just going by the blueprint and then remixing it with your with the imagination in the world you want to go to or help out without even knowing that you was planning on doing that. That's what's going to play out. That's what's gonna play out. What I was on was that all of this was made up in the first place, and and that's the reason. And like you said, that's the reason why it works the way that it works. But like you said, but like I was thinking, sometimes the favorite color can probably be yellow and then blue. But we got to see what happens now. Now that we talking and having conversations where we're allowing ourselves to do different things. What happens when you when you inside of a sphere, like meditate inside of a sphere, or meditate inside of a square inside of a circle, like square in a circle, that little thing, esoteric thing, or a square in a triangle, or something like that. Just remixing it. Just see what happens.
People have built
just because
those.
the thought exists. Because yeah, but then like you said, tapping into what we already got is going to bring us to what we already imagine we can do.
Right.
Just like talking.
Hey, I always said
once I
always said once I'm balling, I'm gonna build a pyramid home. I still plan on doing that.
Be prepared for a moat.
yes. With electronic alligators. Don't slip.
Yeah, look it up. This dude in Illinois, I think, near Chicago, built a pyramid, and then water just started like profusely spraying up around it, and he had to manage it.
Yeah, I'll just say Illinois Pyramid House. As soon as I typed, is this something different? Oh wow,
it's a house. Yeah.
This looked like the house that was in that movie, Middle Summer, that I was watching. And it was a cult. It was like a cult movie. This guy convinced his friends. You seen it before? Yeah, it was this movie where this guy was convinced his friends to go to the Netherlands, and then I didn't show this on YouTube. The Netherlands, and then he found out that they was part of a cult. They had a bunch of their own rituals and things going on, like the old people killed themselves, or they threw themselves off a cliff because they said there's no point of suffering old age and stuff, and they gave themselves freely. They did spells and love charms on each other. It was a community. They were doing their thing. It was a weird community. But they had this pyramid house that only the elders can go to, and it was yellow just like this, and it had the water around it.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It was
right
like
there.
one path where you can go through. That was the only point I really meant. But yeah, there was some other news I ran across when I was watching that podcast about Ergot and the mysteries and the Lucius mysteries and the Greeks and stuff, where they actually have a cup that they found that has ergot in it, and it was like a ceremonial cup. It was tested. I said, wow, because we've been like just guessing, saying it had some kind of substance and stuff, and they were saying how it could have been with beer or something. He had all these examples. But ergot was the main thing that could have been used back then, and now they have like a trace sample of it, like the first physical evidence.
Yeah, because storing things, you used to store them in large clay pots, I think, and that was easiest. Everything started fermenting once you do that, and so the easiest way to keep eating it is to add a little bit of a certain bacteria, so you can eat it. Like otherwise, it'll go anaerobic. You want the oxygen in there.
Yo, somebody just brought up a point. I just looked up this article, looking up ergot again, and somebody said the real reason why your house is haunted. Said mold can make you sick, even causing hallucinations. When you feel a ghost in your house, is it supernatural or just super gross?
Tripping.
Hey, what was that movie? Not House, but Poltergeist. Wasn't Poltergeist about the house where they lived in and the house was haunted? Maybe they had mold all in the basement.
Right?
Yeah. And then
it was all a big misunderstanding. It was all a big misunderstanding.
You said it for me. Thank you. If I say it,
all the Halloween candy was mushrooms.
I was really envisioning that. I was like, yo, they. I was like, I can't stop laughing about it. Oh, hold on. Where's that at? There it is. Yeah, all the houses. I was thinking all the shows I used to watch. Those people wasn't. They was. I tune into the right people. I don't call keep people crazy, but I do at the same time, because crazy to me mean you tapping into something you probably just don't understand, but you channeling
like weird.
it for sure. Yeah, just like weird. Because I know, because the mushrooms showed me how everything that I watched, everything led me up to that point of experiencing whatever in this room, subjective truth that I was experiencing, or whatever they displayed that to me. How like everything, the alien shows, the ghost shows, the fantasy story shows, they all was saying the same thing, and they all was people make fun of them, people think they lying, but it's all part of the journey. Well, part of my journey was looking at experiencing, looking at them and stuff, and hearing their stories, and then going back and questioning my reality. And be like, wait, what is going on? Like, can I see something too? I used to try to see ghosts. Mm-hmm.
And it's deep because they let you know, like within seconds, like you're able to encapsulate such a deep understanding within seconds. You know, it's like, wow, okay, oh, like, oh, and just, yeah, man, like your awareness is just so expanded. You can take in like these, how they say, like these huge mathematical concepts and break it down and just boom, this is what it is. And like, oh, okay, I get that. Whereas a normal day to day, you wouldn't be able like, to, what? I don't know if you'd be able to comprehend it.
Hey, Charles, I got a story for you. And The Wrinkle of Time, the second one, I think it's the second one. The main characters, they go into the Charles Wallace's DNA in order to save the universe. They say going into his DNA and saving him because he was sick, and dealing with whatever was going on in that world was going to save everything, because like the as above so below thing they was trying to play on. But can y'all talk for 1 second? Every time I try to think, I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta pee real quick.
Go for it.
Go ahead. All right, A Wrinkle in Time. I never saw that. Was that the one that Oprah was in exile?
I believe that's true. I heard about it. I've never watched it. Have you watched it?
I thought it was no. I thought it was a movie, but he said part 2, so maybe they did more than one part then, I guess.
There was one like Stardust I watched. It was kind of like a kids movie, but it has kind of the same or like the story in it. I think coming to the conclusion or
it is a movie. It is the one with Oprah Winfrey. It is the one with Oprah Winfrey.
Thank you.
Did they do more than one part?
I don't know if they did a part 2. I didn't see it.
No, they didn't make a part 2. Hey, True, thanks for coming on by.
Oh yeah. I had seen you was live. That's how come I didn't go live. I was about to go live. When I was about to go live, I seen you put on Discord, I'm about to go live. And my girl was like, why you ain't going live? I was like, it's just Psy going live, so I'm going to jump on his channel. She was like, what that mean? I'm like, that's just how I do it. If I see you or King Guys live at the time I'm live, I'll just go on y'all live and do it my own.
Mm-hmm. That's how we doing it. Is one community be just experienced through different things.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm like going, man, Exile. I did what you said, man.
What?
With the mushroom cake.
Mm.
And it worked out good, right? But the cake that I got, it got contaminated. Like after I had did that, it had green mold. So from that cake that I put in the other cakes, though the one that I put it in, it grew green mold. But the other ones, they worked perfect. Because I used something that wasn't contaminated. But I guess this cake over here was contaminated. But it's like, dang, this one that I wanted to work, it didn't work.
Nice. I'm glad you got it going.
As long as you see some white and you've got some time, then you can grow it out on different things. Because they'll want to fight against any contaminants, and they'll build up a contaminant resistance over time if you let them give enough space.
Strain.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you right now. I'm trying to turn on the camera.
Yep. Tales from the horticulture gangster.
But transferring is one of the most delicate times for sure. Transferring is where we get all our contaminants.
Put it on when you're not walking through your house.
Yeah. Turn my camera on. See, look, straight mold.
Oh,
This the only one got. Yeah, this the only one got mold though. But you see, that one is Gucci.
Take it out the room immediately.
Oh yeah, it's closed. It's closed. You know what I mean? It's closed and everything. But as you can see, my other ones, like this one, is starting good. See, it worked on this one.
Nice.
It worked fine because I took from this one and put in this one, and it worked fine. And then I just inoculated these. These ones I got from Esco, and you see this one is starting cool too. No mold. Like no mold or no mold on that one. But there's mold on this one. I'm like going, golly, bro. I wanted this one to work because this was them same ones. But that shit got mold bad. Yeah, I'm about to toss it out though right now. Just
yeah, outside, or else the area gonna be contaminated. The air and everything, the things, the floor, the walls.
Yeah, everything. Cause last time I opened one, that shit came out like some smoke.
Yeah, I did outside. I was scared.
Yeah, hold your breath.
Yeah, I said, golly. But I gotta
like dig a little hole, get your shovel or trowel, and just dig a little 6-inch hole and dump it in there, and then cover it up. Sometimes they'll grow back.
Yep.
Yeah, and just leave it.
Yep.
Man, plant medicine got us developing all kind of skill sets.
Right?
You know, like who knew? Whoever thought you get your horticulture on and just say, you know, yeah, I know this. You're gonna be so skilled in it, it's gonna be second nature.
Everything we have, somebody made or was grown.
Oh man, the
Hey, you
gardening
know
got
what?
us. What's
To
going
to pl-
on?
to play on what you just said, Exile,
Yeah, okay.
was deep because one day I was just chilling, and it's like you think about it, everything around you right now, other than the plant life, was an idea. Like someone said, like, "Hey, I got an idea for something we can live in. It'll be called a home," and that's developed. I got an idea for a
Yeah.
vehicle we can travel in. That's a car. I got an idea for a plane where we can fly. And that's a plane. Like all of the stuff that we enjoy, even the cell phone, the technology was an idea first.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yep.
I seen a dude on TikTok. He like my girl was showing me. She said, I don't know why this came across my page, and I'm looking. I'm like, what is that? He took some logs, right? He had logs that were cut probably like 2 feet, three
Mm.
feet, something like that, and he took them and he put them in this big barrel, and he put
Mm-hmm.
water in there from the water
Mm-hmm.
hose,
Soaked them.
and then yeah, he soaked them for 24 hours, and then he started taking the logs up and he set them up like a cabin, and then he
Mm.
said, now you cover them. He said, now you cover them. And then, like when he showed the next picture, he was pulling the tarp off the logs, man, full of mushrooms.
Yes, sir.
They was shiitakes though. They was shiitake
Shiitakes.
mushrooms.
Oh, I had
Yeah,
some two
Oh,
days ago.
yeah. And I'm going, what if you can do something like that with the other mushrooms? Like, why wouldn't that be like possible to do if you had like the right wood and shit like that?
It's the way. It's the decomposition matter that they like to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
mm,
ones are dung loving.
mm.
So you
They
gotta
like
take.
dung.
Other
So you gotta take.
hardwood or softwood are like reishi, lion's mane,
Yeah,
shiitake,
lion's
the
mane.
gourmet,
Mm.
the
Growing off the
psychedelic ones.
bark.
Yeah, psychedelic needs some manure, some humus, some earth material, like biological
Uh,
material.
yeah. That's why
Yeah,
the cow was so holy.
yeah, true, true.
And I never, hey, it make me think about that when I see like the little, the advertisements, and it's always this fucking flying saucer come and it let down this beam and it pick up the cow and leave. And now I'm
That's the
going,
Easter
okay,
egg.
that's why. Yeah,
They got
like,
contam. They got contam.
like maybe they've been trying to tell us this for a long time. We just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. Cause you
Yep.
see that in a lot of cartoons. A lot. You know what? Man, you went and watched that the new Thundercats?
Mm-mm.
Just
No,
Ty?
not yet. Nope. I didn't know
Yeah.
they had one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they remade it, but they did this a couple of years ago. It's on Hulu. It's an interesting watch. It's real interesting. I was like, the Eye of Thunder. You feel me? That
Oh
shit
Yeah.
yeah,
was trippy.
third
Yeah,
eye.
the third eye. And he was like, you
He
put the
puts it
eye
up
up
to his third
here,
eye. Yeah.
and you can
Yep.
see in the dimension. You can see
You see the
future,
wind picking
past, and
up,
all that shit. That
and that's
and
what you
that
doing.
movie Higher Power.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
that's what you're doing. And like that, I was thinking too, because I was thinking a while back. I said, dang, I said, why do it take like for something traumatic to happen to unlock your certain abilities you might have? Like over trauma and stress, you like unlock these abilities, and it's like I always thought about that. Then I seen that movie Higher Power, and it was like, okay, I kind of get it. It's certain shit that you got to go through to understand things,
Right.
and like that's what he did. They used certain things to unlock what they had already put in him. Like killing his daughter, and doing certain shit to him. It unlocked that God that was within. It was like trippy, bro. But I'm like going, why do it take stuff like that to get you to certain levels of understanding? Like you got to go through trauma, like Buddha. You gotta starve yourself and and
Hey,
not eat
bro.
for a long time.
I don't have, I got my way of putting things. I just put it like in the movies. the producers, they just want to get that emotional toll and like get you in that place where then now because I don't even think it's a reason. I don't think it, and then it just happens, and then afterwards they like, all right, now that we wrote this, and now they can go out. Because I'm thinking of a worldly example of like America's Got Talent or any of the competition shows, how the ones that really go through, they always play their sad stories. Like, oh man, my mom was shot, or I was poor, or all of this. And then people be sad, and then everybody get excited. Oh, I want to see this person now sing. They really want to sing now. Like,
and it's always the best singers that they had the most traumatic stress. Like, and then that's when I started singing more. You know, I lost my dad, and then I lost my sister, and and this and that. They got this traumatic story that happened to them that pushed them into this phase right here.
Yes, sir.
Like, huh?
And I think it's coming in contact with thoughts that you're not used to coming in contact as in like regular. Well, I don't know regulars, but like a quote on average human being. Like you don't come across death or stuff like that. That's why people from the hood is different than people that grow up in the suburbs and all everywhere else, kinda. Unless you're in another country, you got different experiences.
Hey, but you can even put it in perspective of us and where we are in our journeys, because I can't speak for everybody, but I know me and True, we started our journeys with DMT, the most powerful shit ever. So I mean, that was like traumatic in itself, going through that like rites of passage to get where we are now, to appreciate more and just, you know, the levels we on now, all of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, another thing that I was tripping off of though, if you look at every point in time, and then you look at the most powerful speakers of that time, they all spoke the same. They like, okay, Alan Watts, right? I was like, you know, I'll be on the Alan Watts every once in a while, so I'm listening to Alan Watts, and it took me to this other lady I never heard of, but she is like before Alan Watts. But if you listen to her, sound exactly like Alan Watts as a woman, like exactly, and she was before Alan. So I'm like going, everybody in that time, if you go and you listen to them and do they talks, they all sound the same.
Bro, I connected more with you. I was just having a correlation yesterday, and I started the podcast with it. How what we doing today and how we talking is what they was doing back in the day with the ancient cults, like the secret mysteries and stuff, the mystery schools where they was doing the rituals and had they substances and had they experiences of death and coming back and blissfulness and doing it once a year and talking about it. And like I said, they were just the loudest talker. They were just the people that just like to talk the most. And they was like the YouTubers of the day. They just was going around trying to spread ideas and say, hey, I was thinking this. And then they had their little math and stuff behind them. And then they just used their out-of-body experience to expand on it and make it spooky or expand it, like saying, yeah, squares, this is a square, but a perfect square exists somewhere else. You can never have a perfect square here. So yeah, a lot of things.
Okay, yeah, my bad. My bad. My bad.
Yeah, I was just saying a lot of things going on that we doing now that happened a long time ago.
It's crazy because her name is Florence Scovel Shin, 1871 to 1940. Yeah,
what's
Florence Scovel.
How you spell Scovel?
SCOVEL SHIN.
Oh, I see her.
SHIN.
American artist.
Okay, yeah. If you go listen to her shit, bro.
She said the game of life and how to play it.
Basically, I'm telling you, bro. It's like a female Alan Watt.
Can you post it in the Discord? I posted wrong again.
All right, the way she talked, everything, bro. I was like going, what the fuck? Like, and then that's something that I started seeing in a pattern. Like, even if you go back to the ancient days, how they used to write scriptures. Everybody wrote them a certain way. Like everybody, they was just about the same. Like the wording was like a lot the same. So I was like tripping off that, like, because the lady that's reading this book, she like tell you that, like this lady was before Alan Watts, and she like wondering if Alan Watts actually, got some of his information even from her. But yeah, she'll have your mind. Whoa, it'll be like you on the DMT trip. I mean, a light mushroom trip listening to it. It's like a light mushroom trip. No, I bullshit you not. It's like a light mushroom trip when you listen.
I'm gonna bump
to
that later
today. It's like wow. It's like, so I'm like, I'm gonna start looking into more of her stuff. But she reminded me of Alan Watts. Well, Alan Watts reminded me of her because she was like before him. But I'm like wondering if, like at certain points in time, the information that be at that time, the people that have it, they all share it in the same way, the same dialogue. And that's weird to me.
Yeah, it's like I understand that energy. I understand that energy that they going through. And I understand it, but I understand in a way, like how realities play out, and this role is going to come out in certain periods of time.
Yeah,
like certain characters pop up, a conqueror.
Yeah, how Alan Watts be explaining stuff. He always go into I had this one friend who came to me and said this, like she the same exact way. I was like, whoa, wait. Like, okay, so from 1850 to probably 1950, everybody.
You were saying.
I'll be reading.
Oh, he said that she had another book called like The Magic Wand or something. The world is your wand.
The world is your wand.
Yeah, the world is your wand.
Yep, it is.
And like in that one she was going in there, she was like saying even like when you wish bad stuff on other people, you really kind of wishing it on yourself because it like kind of backfires and it hits you because it's stuck in your mental of what and it's like shit.
I learned that from Sabrina.
It's like Sabrina. Damn. Who?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yeah,
about spell work and wishing harm on other people, and how harmful spells always come back to get you.
Look,
so those spells are available, but be careful.
You talking about the thick Sabrina or the skinny one? Look, hey, you hear
I've seen all of them.
Just how you talking about the thick Sabrina or the skinny new one?
No, the one from the 90s.
It was banging, dog.
That's the banging, dog.
The thick one.
That's the thick one.
Man, hell good. No, I remember that. Yeah, I forgot all about that live action one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thick Sabrina. It's like how that white girl out from home, girl. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one from the Parkers.
Oh yeah, from the Parkers. Yeah, what's the name? Yeah. Yeah.
The daughter?
Man.
Like, wow. Yeah, I used to watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch all the time.
But you know what's deep about that is sometimes like it's never more prevalent than when you get like a conversation in your head. Like sometimes when I'm going to sleep, I'm thinking about something and it just comes natural. Like your brain will take the other side of it, and I really get into like a heated discussion and debate. And then sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I'll come to a realization like, dude, you ain't even interacting with nobody. You getting huffy and puffy all up in your own head. Like, damn, like calm this shit down. I'm like, oh shit, you right. You right.
You know what I thought you was gonna say though?
What?
I thought you was gonna say I get in this heated discussion with myself, and sometimes I win.
That's the point you gotta get to.
Sometimes I win. Sometimes not all the time.
I'm like, dang.
But I've been practicing on that 360 viewing though, Charles. It's like
Yeah.
basically it's remote viewing. That's all it
Mm.
is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
you just start you begin to like pick like I start from my room and I look in my room and I look at my room in the 360. Then I go from my room to like the hallway and
But
then
you,
the living
but
room.
you. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you like sitting down. You in the same position, right? You just projecting
Yeah,
your vision out,
yeah,
right? You
yeah.
got your
Is
eyes
this on
closed, or you do it with your
mushrooms?
eyes open?
Eyes closed. Eyes closed.
Okay.
Eyes closed. I
And
only
you,
can do
you.
it with my eyes open when I'm tripping.
Hey, True, what you
Oh,
talking about? What you doing?
Like basically
projecting.
when I was off the air projecting. Because
Uh-huh.
I always wondered, like off the shrooms, like how can you see yourself in the 360? And then
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
shrooms let you always see everything in 360. You just don't really take advantage of it. You
Yep.
know what's behind you when you pass it. Like me standing right here looking out at the street, I know exactly what's behind me. I can picture it in my mind with my eyes open.
Yep.
But it's like I started to like, try to see it in that 360. Like, you start to actually be it because you are it. So it's like, because it's
Mm-hmm.
all in your mind. So I project my room and I'll look at my room in the 360 in my mind, laying there on my bed, eyes closed, looking at the room. And then I'll take it from the hallway and I'll expand it till it get to like the whole house to where I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at the whole house with the roof off of it. And I'm looking at every room from the top and looking at the backyard and, just trying to expand it further, because it's like everything is in your mind. So it's like,
Yeah, bro.
why wouldn't you be able to do that? And it's like
Bro,
it's amazing.
keep working on it, and I've been working on that. I just got the idea since I was working at that West Philly high school. I don't know, probably like 6 years ago now, and I was reading the esoteric books, and they was talking about astral projecting, and it was before I knew about psychedelics. And I used to do exactly what you said. When I was in the office, I'd just be breathing and envisioning how the office looked. And then I would envision me
Yeah,
flying out the window and try to recreate the street and stuff like that. And then when I started getting more into it, I was trying to let things more flow more, like try to construct it, but still let it be as bendy as it kind of wants to, like the space fill in for itself.
yeah,
And now as I keep training, well, I don't like the word training, but just playing along with it more and more, um it do jump where sometimes I'll be in my mom's house or I'll be at my uncle's house or
mm,
something like that, and
yeah.
and I'll be wanting to
It'll get
call them too
random.
and be like, are you doing this or is this over there, like just to confirm stuff. But I just be letting it flow
Yeah,
and just seeing how much relevant, well, not relevant, I know it's relevant more and more that I talk to y'all, because like this stuff used to happen to me when I was a kid, and then I stopped thinking that it was necessary. And I
yeah,
like reprogrammed my brain, and now with these mushrooms and stuff is really allowing the thoughts to really come from within and
I
like
started, yeah,
do
yeah.
some
It
stuff.
get deep, man. I started doing the projection a while back, and like you'd be amazed, like how much you already know what stuff looks like. You know what I mean? Like I go
Mm-hmm.
down,
yeah,
like you can go in between your toes, you can go above your roof and look over like the whole street, and yeah, just keep practicing. I got to a point where I was able to do it with my eyes open. So with my eyes open now, I got the visual in front of me, but now I'm above me and
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing two sights now. I got to a point
Yeah.
where I used to do it on the freeway. I wouldn't advise this because it can be dangerous, but I was on the freeway, I'm looking ahead, but I would project in front of two cars in front of me and like look around in the
damn,
car and stuff. And like that's kind of dangerous though. Don't do that. You gotta be paying
Mm-hmm.
attention when you're driving. But but yeah, man, you'd be amazed at how much you already know what stuff really looks like. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you just
'Cause,
putting it together. And
yeah, you just
yeah, it's
already
another form of project. Oh,
programmed
and I
it.
remember one time it was I'm trying to remember what I was on. I think it was mushrooms. And I think I mentioned this before. I had these faces come in front of me, and they were like pig-like faces, and they had like these sharp teeth on them, and they were all looking at me. And I remember I projected out, and I went into one of them and turned around and started looking at myself, and They didn't like that. It was like they dissipated. It was like the Merovingian in the Matrix telling Neo, he was like, okay, you got some skills. You got some
Yeah.
skills. And then they like just dissipated and went away.
Hey, that's a trip too, because that's what happens. Like when you get past a lot of the things that you seeing and you start realizing it's you, and they know that you know, they'll shut you down. They'll like kind of back you off, like, wait, hold on, this guy not supposed to be doing this, right? this is a little. But he not supposed to have control. Now he got control. Who gave him control? Who gave him the wand? Somebody.
Someone's gonna lose their job over this one.
Because it seems like everybody like have those stories. Was like even Terrence McKenna. You know, when I started paying attention and looking at this thing, you know, they just took the technology away from it, and it's like, what the fuck, like.
Who left the computer logged in?
Right.
Yeah. Because soon as I seen that the one alien being that looked like it was mixed with technology, man, that motherfucker looked at me and was like, wait, hold on, turn back around and start going on that board. It was like I don't know what type of fucking computer screen that shit was, but she got to doing all type of shit on that motherfucker, made my ass disappear. I said,
man,
I still seen you though, so it don't matter. I saw you. I got that. That's never gonna leave my memory.
Right.
It's like I guess we supposed to maybe when we tap in, they probably already got a set dialogue for you in the beginning. As you start going and then you start progressing, you start to see that dialogue was set by somebody else other than yourself. And you go, man, I'm trying to get out. Yeah, I'm trying to get out of that. Let me get out of there. It's like shit.
Right. Hey, True, it make me think of your one journey, that one time where you say you woke up in the pod and they was around you, and I'm thinking like, all right, is it sometimes when we travel, it's like, hey, throw him the multi-dimensional program, put him in this program, give him this program real quick, like da with this program real quick.
It is.
Yeah,
that's why during my day I'm always going through things in my mind of strengthening up and muscling up and knowing that I'm already cool at the same time, because the anger and frustration creates just more things for them to work with and twist around. But that's how it was when I experienced it. I saw it as cameras and stuff, and all of them was just looking at me like, hey, like you just broke script. And I was just like, wait a second, what?
The Truman Show. He said I was on the Truman Show
myself. Yeah, I had that true experience. True tie, whatever we got put on it.
True tie show.
But it was like that, and they was all staring at me with their cameras pointing, all focused, and was like, man, like they was all getting in tears, and not in tears, I wasn't crying, but like just ready to get the zoom in effects. And they had the notepads and the director chair and everything, and it was just simple as that. And so I was like, yo, this is a script. But then when I said I created this, because they got me into another realm. They put me in, I was in another space, doing a whole nother life, just doing something else like I would be doing here. And then I said I created this, and then I broke the script again. And that just happened as many times as it happened until it stopped happening. And then I was in another space where that's why I talk about the things that I talk about now. But it's really feeling it, because the magic was really happening after that. Like I was doing the things that we talking about, like being out of like all the things we talking about and saying, I think we can do this and wishing, experiencing that. It was like I was doing all of that, like with my mind, like creating objects in front of me, and
they was like he broke the script. You was looking like I didn't never even get a script.
Right.
I never even
I understood it though.
It's
Uh-huh.
like that's the point of it. You just going along,
Yeah.
creating it as you go. So, you know,
But now I can't
Man, you
take
know
that
what
away that
was
I know I'm making everything up. Like everything
man,
I know I'm making up.
you know what was deep when I was off of the 80. I'm sorry, it was a 60 millimeter 4 ACO when I was in the Great Library. It was a point in time when everything just went black, and there was like no nothing, no thought, no nothing. And then I was an organism, and I had other organisms around me, and we lived our life and we did what we did, and I died, and I awoke, and it was like, oh shit, like that wasn't real. And in fact, I'm in the body of some dude named Charles McPike over in this realm, and that's what I'm really doing. And actually, right now, I'm there, but then I'm here in what this place is called a Great Library, because that wasn't even concepts as I was this other organism. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like none of this was concepts or even in the peripheral. So it was like an awakening within an awakening, and that was deep
mm,
right there, man. That because there was no Charles when I was that organism. There was none of this existed.
Uh-huh.
None of this existed.
right.
But that's what I experienced, because when I talk about what I was talking about, that's why it's hard for me to say it. Because for half of the experience, I wasn't anything of this. But
Right,
but I just have a
right.
way of storytelling to say it. Because I remember some of the thoughts of like when I say I created this, I meant like not in a fearful way, like oh I created this, but in a way that I was realizing, oh I'm not me. I'm on this show. This is that, and I was getting all this like exercises or memories of just how it is in that space, just memories of realizing what things were at that point.
Yeah.
But then it just kept going away, and every time I said it again, that's the only time it came back, and then I. So I think that's why it's so dangerous in this world. Why they say it is, but it's actually not. When we be saying I created this, or I'm a creator, I'm a move and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna create that, and I'm gonna move and do this, cause that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But then we can make that up because we have that power. We're the star of the show. Don't you know sometimes stars go off script and it'd be funny and they'd be like, oh, I didn't even write that
Yeah.
into the script. That's what we are, and
Yeah.
that's what we got. That's what we doing. And we realize that, oh, the stage is on me. The center light is on me. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna do
24/7.
a backflip. I'm gonna go skydiving. I'm
24/7.
gonna go hiking. I'm gonna go be nice to my family.
It's still,
I'm gonna have a
it's still,
600-pound life. You know what I mean? It's so
yeah.
many different variations. You
But a
know what I
lot
mean? I'll
of
be
it,
Yep.
watching that show. It's all kind of crazy stuff out there,
yeah,
or the
so,
way
but
people be living or expressing themselves.
it don't
Uh-huh.
it don't be making sense sometimes because like okay, like right now as we talking, I'm thinking about the time where I was off the 4 ACO and I was like a college student watching Just High channel. And then it was weird because I'm watching myself watch Just High channel and I don't know what he said. It was something that he said that made us both because I was talking to Just High here. I'm talking to
At
Just
the
High
same
here
time.
at while I'm this college student watching Just High on TV going, who the fuck is this dude always talking to? Because that's something that we always wondered. When we come back to the dorm, we
Mm,
watching this show. Who is this dude talking to? And then
mm.
he said something that made me look back, and I was able to see myself and talking to Just High, and I'm like going, we both our mouths open, and it was like in the reality, it says something like, okay, this is how realities is connected, and it was like, okay, I got it, but I don't get that. That don't make sense. Like it don't make sense. This is
Dang.
how realities is connected. What the fuck do you
Mm-hmm.
mean? This is how realities is connected. I'm tripping. I'm
So
seeing
you
this in my mind.
so
So it's
yourself in
like,
that reality was like when they look back and saw you and opened their mouth, like, man, I had the craziest daydream ever, man. Like it's like I saw myself. It was like a projection on
yeah.
my wall or something. Like, oh, that's
And
deep. That's
and just
deep.
how it was talking to me. The older me though, not the younger me, the older me. And it was like
Mm.
we both our mouths was dropped like I can see you, like I can see you too. Like what the fuck? But I don't know the meaning of that. And then I think I go, well, okay. When I watch Just Tide channel, is it the younger me watching Just Tide channel that's inside of me, or what the
Or
fuck?
just a whole nother separate thing, but yet
The
connected at
whole
the
nother
same
separate
time.
reality. You had on that fucking that one dude shit. The what's his name? The one
Crowley.
white dude. Yeah, you had on the Crowley shit,
Yeah, I had
and
that on last episode.
I'm like going, what the? I was like, man, I was tripping out, bruh. I was tripping out.
Yeah,
That
ever
was
since that day, I
fascinating
changed
though.
my Facebook picture. I photoshopped my face on Crowley's and put it as my default on Facebook, just so people be like,
Man,
"What?" and they don't
yeah,
get it.
what?
I'm like, "You
That's
gotta watch the
yeah,
show."
yeah, yeah. You gotta watch the show. You gotta watch the show.
But that's how
That
it
that
is. This
Roman shit.
interdimensional play. Like, who is the I that's talking? Who is the me that's representing itself in the moment? What is experiencing what? How is something actually experienced?
But
And those are the
it's
questions that's
so
all go topsy
it's
turvy.
so
And
hard. It's so hard to explain that all is one. It's not hard to explain, but it's hard for a lot of people to see. Because when you
mm-hmm,
tell people that they are God, they feel like they going against the grain by even saying that. Now
Yeah,
they
like
could
it's
say,
offensive.
yeah, like it's offensive, but they can take down like, okay, yeah, it's many gods, but then when you go, you a god. No, I ain't no god, because how could I be a god? I ain't created all this. Like, I'm not saying that you created this world and what it is, but you creating
mm-hmm.
the view that you got on it. You creating the things that you decide to accept God to be. That's a choice that you are making.
And you know what's a
And
possible connection? Oh, what was you gonna say?
oh, nothing.
I was
I'm
saying,
good.
a possible connection I ran across earlier was don't you know how the Christians is like really the Christian religion is really prominent across the world? Like they sent missionaries out and like they like got a lot of money, gold and influence and stuff like that. Just their
Yeah.
influence, period. Whatever they choose to influence, hey, that's just what they choose. But during the mystery of Elysius, which was going on during the Greek times, like where Plato and everything at Plato, Socrates got all of they juju from, like where they had their psychedelic experience, like whatever substance they had at the time, they cut that off and said that that couldn't happen no more. And it was a guy that the guy on Joe Rogan podcast mentioned who said that this was going to do real harm to humanity as a whole because it's separating them from the things that we talking about nowadays and making
Yeah.
them think that it's just things you see with your two eyes. Like, what you mean how can I create the world if I can't just make something pop out of my hands right now? Like, what do you mean I created the world? Like, what? I'm just in it.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah,
God created it.
how much more advanced would we be if it was never knocked down then and it just flourished around the world, you know what I mean? Like where would we be at now? Like what would it even be like?
I wouldn't be no bombs dropping.
Nope.
Yeah,
Might be
definitely not no bombs dropping.
it'll
People
be
do
a
psychic
pile of
Hey,
guns
attacks.
and
but
bullets.
but let me hit you with this though too. Let me hit you with this though too. Knowing what we know that like well, what was relayed to me off of my 5 MEO was like it don't matter, but it do matter. So it's like once you like really know, it's like you fulfill your purpose anyway. Like uh if you was gonna go murk somebody, that other person probably already knew that you was gonna go murk them, and this might have been an agreement on the other side. But hey, this is for the experience. I need my family to feel the hurt. This is what they came here for to experience. You know, their son being. You know what I mean?
It's
Like
all
Hmm.
for
it's
the
almost like, are
story.
you doing it more on a conscious level then, as opposed to hey, it was just some random shit and homeboy got killed. Now his family got to
Mm.
deal with it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of things a lot of people not gonna want to face, like what you just said.
Yeah,
Like, oh, we agreed to
yeah.
this before I got here, or what do you mean I
Like
agreed? I ain't
I
just
want to
think
back
that.
out the
Yeah.
deal now. Right. I think you got the
Yeah, cause
paperwork mixed up. Let's call upstairs.
Yeah.
that's
I
what
didn't
turned people
sign that.
atheists. Mm-hmm.
I didn't
Yeah.
sign that. I was still thinking about it.
I missed
Right.
that paragraph.
You just put me in there. Like you just put me in there and shit, just threw me in the whole fucking in this shit. Bro, I got so much shit going on right now. My dad's funeral on Saturday. I'm supposed to make
Oh,
obituaries, right? I'm supposed to make his obituaries, but don't nobody got no information about him.
like
And
birthday?
I'm like, I got all that, but
No,
you
like
know, his
stories, right? Little
brothers,
small stories
his
or something, or yeah.
stories,
Oh,
his brothers, his
I'm sorry.
sisters,
Uh-huh.
they kids, and my dad, mom, my dad, father, which I know who his father is. I don't know who his mother is. But
Mm.
so I was asking, like, send me this information, and then when I looked at the information they sent me, I'm going, wait, okay, it got his siblings, and then it just got stepmother,
Mm.
Gotcha.
and I'm like going,
Uh-huh.
okay, where the rest of it at? Like, like they ain't got
I'm with you
kids.
on a journey.
Yeah, who is his real mom? It's like, how don't nobody even got this information really? It's like, and if y'all do got it, like, why y'all didn't send it to me? And it's like, just okay, well, just make it happen with what you got. And it's like, what? Like,
Hey,
I'm like,
true.
okay, I'll try.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's what happened to my girlfriend's dad. They don't know who his real mom and dad is, and they don't know nothing about his family or anything. They just know about him a little bit, and like that's about it. He just all that's it. Like how you was describing it,
Yeah, yeah, and
and
it's
he
like,
passed away a
wow,
couple years
bro.
ago, or
And
went on
I'm
to
like
another realm.
going,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
my sister, she the oldest. I'm asking her, and she like, I ain't seen dad in 30 years. So it's like, how can
Mm.
she don't know nothing. My brother don't know nothing because we wasn't around like that, like that. But it's
Right.
like, damn, bro. And then it's like, my dad girlfriend, she been with him for 21 years and she don't know nothing. It's like, wait, what? It's like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is a lot.
Your dad
Yeah,
paid
we
the
we don't
bills.
keep records. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't keep. I mean, now
Mm-hmm.
now we in a space and time where
Where we can't
even
help
if
it.
somebody don't, you can look on somebody's Facebook and be like, oh, so and so reached out. Let me reach out to them because they may know something. But back from our parents' time, if you don't have a larger family, it's game over. It's a wrap. You don't know who was
Yeah.
who or what was what.
I'm
Unfortunately.
I'm I'm
Mm-hmm.
still
Yeah.
stoked. I'm still stoked about the fact that my dad and my girl dad was born the same year, same month, 2 days apart. And I was
Wow.
What?
born I was born the same month, like 3 days apart from
From your dad?
Mm.
from my dad and her dad.
Wow.
And it kind of like go, damn, man, you start to notice things like,
Mm-hmm.
certain things, and you start really paying attention. And I'm like going, it's kind of weird because like even when I look at the relationship that her mom was in, like that's the type of relationship ours started as.
Mm.
It's like it's just so many different connections, and it's like, damn, it's like is things kind of laid out in a way, like in a pattern that we don't see, that we not
Hey,
paying attention to.
Nancy Dennison
Mm-hmm.
said that we actually, yeah, we view like our body, we view our life before we come in, but we actually make the decisions off of the parents. Like, okay, I,
Yeah.
I see what they did in their life, so I'm gonna enter as their child.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
My daughter Isla said
I
she
kind
was
of
a
felt
star that
that.
came down. She said she was a star and came down and wanted to be a human.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was writing a story before she was born about a kid and stuff, and he came down and he knew who he was. Because I was getting into this esoteric stuff. Like before my daughter was born, I used to close my eyes and imagine me dancing with her above the earth. Like this would burn the astral projection when I
Mm.
was first starting, trying to make myself just believe all of it. I was like, I'm gonna get into this, and then just dancing. Now we dance all the time. Like that's one of her favorite. That she's in dance class, hip hop dance, ballet, and all of that. I just now made that connection just now. But yeah,
A lot of the
things is.
didn't a lot of the like the ancestral stories ain't that what they said? We was trying to get back to the stars?
Yep.
Or
That's the
like, you know,
mission.
some of the stories it's like become that star up there or a star up there or some shit.
That's the story we
And
have
it's
for
like,
ourselves. But imagine what a star
like,
is
what is
doing.
taking pictures?
Giving. Like, hey,
You
star
be
over
tripping?
there.
Yeah, you be tripping.
Hey,
All
blue
you see is
dwarf.
flashes coming from the stars. They be flashing like camera flashes. You be like, somebody taking pictures.
I'm telling y'all, I have to play this game, and y'all gotta tune in or watch the old one that I made, but I'll play it again. It was on the PS4, and you got to be in the perspective of everything that was around you, and it made thoughts come up, and you was able to be grass, cows, germs, DNA, and then you was able to zoom out, be a sun, a star, a galaxy, and you was able to dance around them and make them move and stuff like that. And then when you went out of the stars, you was in a land of tetrahedrons and stuff, like out of the galaxies and stuff. And you see games creating that. But the crazy thing is, the loop is when you go all the way into the DNA part, you zoom out into the tetrahedron space.
Wow.
So that the inside is creating the outside. But yeah, we see it as going inside. I was like, this game is perfect. And they had Alan Watts narrating a bunch of the stuff that pop up. And I was throwing my own narrations on top of it. And whoever was in the Discord.
What game is
so
that?
We got to do that again.
I remember that game. I remember
I
that
actually
game.
don't-
I forgot what it's called.
Actually, don't know.
I remember you playing it, though. You was talking about the Alan Watts narrating the game.
Yeah, I'm going to type in Alan Watts just how now. See what had pop up. Oh, it's called Everything.
Okay.
That was
On
a year
PS4?
ago. Ooh, yeah.
All right, yeah, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta get to work, though.
All right, bro.
Gotta get
No
to
doubt,
work.
man.
I'll tap back
For dropping in.
Yeah,
All right,
best
have a
wishes
good
on
one.
everything.
Thanks,
All right,
thanks for
God
dropping
bless.
in and reinforcing this fake reality for us. You know, it's like a TV sitcom. You know, one person leaves, somebody else comes in through the door.
Every time. So long, I'll be back.
All right, bro.
No doubt.
All right.
Hey, Charles.
Hey, Ty, you was
Yeah.
going on, to kick it back earlier, you were going on and you were telling us about the time travel where they had to go on my man's DNA.
Oh, yep, they did. They went in Charles Wallace DNA. The Wrinkle of Time, they got 3 books, but it's only 1 movie. And I don't think enough people saw it to make a part 2 they was talking about. I was kind of sad about that. But the books is real interesting because they go inside Charles Wallace DNA, and they accompanied by what they call an archangel, but it looks like it comes in the form of like this peacock with all these colors. So they lead them inside the DNA so they can save the universe by going inside of there. Okay. But when they go in there, it turns into like this whole world where a war is actually happening between his mitochondria and something that they made up called the Fernandale. And that was attacking it. But they had personalities and wars and strategies and stuff that was going on. It wasn't just cells bumping against each other. Like it was a whole nother world that they entered into. And I brought it up because you was mentioning how fast the downloads are during psychedelic trips and stuff like that and deep meditations. And when she was tagged alongside, she found out that she was on a global quest. So it was other people, or not people, beings from other realms who mission just so happened to tie in with hers. So they was like popped up and they all run into each other's and they had to make friends and stuff. But they looked at her as a human and their mind was already assimilated. Like one of the rat guy, his mind was assimilated to how universes and stars are structured. Like he said, yeah, we learned that as kids. Like he was looking at her like, you don't really know anything, but she had the courage and the human aspiration to keep going, you know, that thing that we got but it was she was around people who was being taught on different scales on how universes work and stars are structured. So I was like, yeah, it's like that. I seen it like that in trips. There's different levels of magicians and beings out here that's controlling different things, and we're doing that. I'm doing that. I really see myself as doing. I try to play it out as words because I'm on this sitcom show, but but that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Even though y'all telling me a script right now, it's like that's where schizophrenia, that word, really, it doesn't bother me because I'm glad we talked about it in a lot of past podcasts. But I think that I was watching. You ever see the bird that flew over the cuckoo's nest or over the cuckoo nest or something?
Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Yeah, I've seen that. It's been many moons ago. One flew over the cuckoo's nest. I just watched
it 1 moon ago.
Okay.
It's on Netflix.
Cool. Okay. Yeah.
So it was cool. They talking about the mental and stuff like that, and I was like, that's how they used to treating mental people and mental patients with what's going on in their mind. And the plants is really like a healing medicine for the mind in the way that we describe, not like, oh, I took a pill, I'm just gotta sit here and my stomach probably hurt, but at the end I'll be all right. It's like a journey, a spiritual, physical journey. Cause what is really physical.
Right.
But yeah, that was my connection with that.
Okay. Yeah, that's deep too.
You should check it out. It's a good book. It's not too long either. I finished it in like 2 days.
Have you seen the movie? Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the movie with Oprah? Cool. A Wrinkle in Time?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Giant Oprah.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a universe.
Oh, I know what I was gonna mention. You talking about that too. Have you ever seen? I posted it on the Facebook group. I'm gonna have to now that I'm part of your Discord, I'll have to see if I can find it and post it on there. But it was a short animation about these beings that create. I don't know if they create universes or they do something to the universes to make them function or whatever. And the kid, he was supposed to be helping his dad because his dad had all these workers and they were in our universe or whatever and putting stuff together or whatever. And the kid was like, I don't want to help my dad. And he was like doing a drawing of his face and stuff and just sketching stuff. And he was like, ooh, he was looking at this one planet and he was like, I like this planet. He was like, tell me how many planets are like this in this solar system. So all these planets start popping up, boop, 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 and the moon pops up. And he was like, oh, this is interesting. And he was like, where's this one? And it said it's over in this solar system right over here. And he was like, what else is there? And it showed him some stuff. And he said it was organic life or something like organic life. And he was like, well, hold on. He was like, how can organic life exists when there's non-organic material present? And then it said error, like above your pay grade, like you can't access this information. So he was like, wow, like what? So his mom comes in and she was like, boy, what you doing? You're supposed to be out there helping your dad or whatever. Go help him. So he's like, all right. So he puts on like his spacesuit or whatever. And he was like, and you know what? Instead of helping dad, I'm gonna go do my own thing. So he flies to the moon, right? Now, there were these invisible rings that we can't see, but there were these rings tying like all the planets together. So he, once he gets to the moon and he's looking at it, he like flashes through time on the moon and he sees like these footprints come up and he starts hearing these little signals. That's one small step for man. It was humans, right? So he's like, oh, wow, like what is this? So it tells him like, in order for this to happen, the moon has to be in a different spot. So he breaks the moon off of the like the lines that it was connected to and pushes it near, obviously, Earth. He pushes it near Earth and locks it in place near Earth. And he looks at the sketch he did earlier of his face and he does the sketch on the moon, like the face on the moon. And because now that he pushed it right there, there was able to be life on Earth in the future, and we eventually travel out to the moon or whatever. So his dad, now they're all leaving this universe because they did what they needed to do. And his dad is talking to his mom like, where is that little boy at or whatever? And she was like, I don't know. He went out earlier. He's supposed to be coming to find you to help you or whatever. So his dad has these things like binoculars where he can scan like a huge solar system. And he finds that the boy is over in our solar system doing something. So he like yells out his name like, come on. He was like, you think the boy being 1 billion years old would be much smarter than that. Like it just throws everything that we know in perspective, like out of perspective. And
like, what you know,
man, you gotta see that. Gotta see that, man. You gotta see that. I'm gonna have to post it to your Discord. But it's a dope video on YouTube. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I understand. I got on my Clark Kent glasses right now, but I understand. I create universes every day. Every day I create something. I create so, and I have an example I wanted to show on how it came to me one time when I was on substances. And yes, hold on. When I was on substances and I was playing this game, I'm re-downloading it now. I thought I already had it installed. It's called Universe Sandbox. And they said this simulation is just as good as the one that the scientists use at like the expensive laboratories and stuff like that. I brought it about 4 years ago to really get into it, but I was still using it, and I was feeling like, yay, man, I'm creating universes right now. Like, I have other examples too, but right now it's like I'm creating what's going on in this planet. You're able to tweak little definitions like of the orbit, the speed. You can change planets, make different scenarios happen, like introduce different comets, like how you were saying the guy was doing, introduce different comets and stuff like that. So then imagine a game where you combine that game with The Sims, and then you got us. But and it is real precise. And you can move everything. I'm downloading it now, so I can just show y'all. But it's a cool game, and we all creating universes. But like we said, you just gotta convincing ourselves and really remembering through saying that we convincing ourselves. Like that's how the script play out into what we doing, what we capable of, or what's already in place. And that's why I think a lot of people get scared when they hear things about the shadow government, or when I tell people about people that write the scripts, like the producers and stuff like that. And it's like, man, trying to diverge our attention so that we can put our attention into this and stuff. And I think that is at play. Like that is a level of play. I think McDonald's and everything, like how True said the Just Todd channel was, I put it in my words, was on interdimensional cable. Like that's how I think McDonald's is, and big companies, they exist in different dimensions, and they already like had their foot in a lot of things. So when they came here, or when it existed here, or when they made the program exist here or whatever, it was already set on how to work the minds of the people that's in that reality. Like, oh, they like this kind of advertising. They're going to like clowns, the kids meal, burgers. They're like, you know how McDonald's been slowly creeping up over the years. Started from 2 burgers, burger joint.
Yeah, you know what's this deep is like the more you learn, it's almost like this is really like a DC or a Marvel universe. There's so many different levels. You want to get higher on Galactus level, you can. You want to stay minute and small on like, you know, just a cat from New York growing around with a little bit of abilities, you can. You know what I mean? Like it's so many levels. But I found that video. If you want to write this down, it's called let me see. Well, this is how it's. If you type this in, you'll find it. Multi-award-winning CGI animated short. Oh, let me tell you who it's by. The CG Bros. No space. The CG BROS. And it's called The Looking Planet. It's called The Looking Planet. It's 16 minutes and 38 seconds long. You got to see that. The Looking Planet.
The Looking Planet. I'm typing it in now. Oh, let me type bros. Let me spell bros right. Oh, it's one word. The C. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, take your time.
Where the tablet charger is? It's not in here. Oh, wait. Here. You can come in real quick. You can come in. It's right here. Here, come on. Let's hurry up. There you go.
It's not in here. And then he pulls it out of his Acme pocket. It's in here. That's what it is.
And you know the magic that go on in my head, I'll be frustrated, and I'm like, I'm not frustrated. And then it pop
part
up,
of that.
Like, oh yeah, magic.
You need that frustration. That frustration is important.
Right. Right.
That's what Elliot told
Yeah.
Quentin in The Magicians. He said all magic comes from pain. A source of pain. You say you think we all walking around here without nothing going on? Because he was new to the school.
It's crazy because me and my girl was talking about earlier. We was listening to the radio and the dude was saying like how he don't whoop his kids, and I'm like, and the newer generation they don't. But like when I was coming up, we got whoopings, and I'm like, you know what? It wasn't too far of a taste from like what the slaves went through. I mean, I would literally get beatings. Like I knew exactly, what they felt like. It's like a certain
Same.
level of like PTSD, I guess, that we all kind of go through, but you can't be in this life without having some form of trauma, even if you weren't beaten, just being in the society. You might have been bullied when you were younger, whatever the case may be. No, you can't be in here and be flawless, untouched. You can't be here and be an untouched flower, so to speak, is what I'm trying to say.
I felt ostracized growing up. Like I was on the outside of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which if I had this
Not feeling
training
you a
now,
part
I
of
could
it.
have put to good use. But back then, I was just on the other side of it. Oh man, what's going on? Why people do this? Nobody want to do good, or I don't even know why people think like this. I'm sad. I'm angry.
Yeah.
None of this is real. People take things too serious. They're not really calculating. Yeah, you know that journey.
Yeah. And like now it goes to that level of awareness. Like our level of awareness is expanded beyond the normal human, so we can understand like greater concepts and things that may not make sense to people here. Just like when you were a kid, now you understand things, whereas a kid, now you wouldn't even question it. But as a kid, you just didn't have that level of awareness. You couldn't grasp it.
You ever talk to yourself, or Truzo, you ever talk to yourself and win?
Right. Oh man, that is funny. Hey fam, I gotta get ready to cut out. My phone about to die, so I'm gonna put it on a charger, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day, man. I definitely appreciate the combo.
Yo, it was wonderful of you to come by and share your psilocybin experience. Ripping portals and
much
stuff.
Definitely. All right.
We got a lot out of
All right, XR. Y'all take it easy, man. Till next time.
You too.
Peace.
All right.
Enjoy anything. Everything. All right, I'm flipping through the screens, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to get I cut it off. The game to come up. So if it's a black screen, I'm sorry for that. Let me click on this and click on Universal Sandbox. There we go. All right. I just wanted to show a taste of what I meant playing that game, where I said I had the biggest hint of me creating universes and stuff, because I ain't have an explosive psychedelic experience yet. When I first downloaded this a couple years ago, I just had little ones. Except it's like comparing acid to mushrooms. Like you don't hallucinate, but on acid I hallucinated, but it's just mushrooms is just something else. Just a whole nother journey. So,
Yeah.
Wait, let me see why it's frozen right now, though. It says creating solar system, but I just had the feeling that I was just creating a world. Oh, it froze.
Now you're frozen on YouTube.
All right, let me
you're right.
close this out.
You're good.
The window for me is not loading. Hey Sahi Haho, you said Universe Sandbox got the Saturn logo. You know that's what keep track of things. That old grandfather. Come on. I really gotta go into Control Alt Delete. It's probably because I got so much stuff running on my computer. I'm gonna try it one more time. So I'm do this real quick. Replay, and I just installed it, so it probably want me to restart to run correctly, but hopefully not. Let me open back up the tab. All right, we got music this time. There it goes. There goes me. All right, so here we go. Let me see if I can reroute the sound. Sorry. so that it's going through the headphones and not double playing through the speakers. But that music is already smooth enough for me. There it is, settings. Audio. Or I'm just gonna cut it off for right now, cause I can't reroute it. But here it is. I can move universes and stuff around in this game. Like here go our basic solar system, as they say is displayed by science. I can zoom into the sun, and you got all the planets orbiting. There go Mercury. Look how fast it's actually moving. Exile, you was Troy. Notice how fast the sun is actually moving around or moving across, however you want to put it, when the sun is setting. How fast am I moving right now? You can see the date right there, and I could slow that down.
I think the Earth is rotating at 1,200 miles or 66,000 miles an hour or something.
Dang.
No,
66,000 miles.
Either, I think it's rotating at 1,200 miles an hour, and then we're rotating around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour. Might have to double check that.
Let's see if they help us out. Zoom in on the Earth. There go the Earth right there. It says Earth. They talking about the weight, the average degrees. Because I think I can change the rotation on here. So they should say it. Oh, they got it in. Let me full screen. Oh, I knew it was going to mess up what's on there. Hold on, I'm going to fix it.
Yeah, roughly, Earth rotates once every 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.09053 seconds, called the sidereal period.
Sidereal period?
It's, roughly 1,000 miles per hour is how fast the Earth rotates. How fast is the Earth?
That's how fast your Earth rotate. I'm about to turn this Earth on the side. They say orbital period 365 days. I can change that to 10 times faster. And then the thing is, on this, they would calculate the gravity and everything, and how when it encounters a near object, and calculate all of those things. Like it's calculating this whole thing right here. Right. Like nothing is just randomly going around. Yeah, all the trajectories. Nothing is just randomly placed just to make a nice graphic. So I can zoom in on Jupiter right now.
We're spinning at 67,000 miles an hour around the sun.
Right, let's zoom out so we can see a big scale and then make it spin.
How fast is the sun moving through space? And then the sun's moving through space at 828,000 kilometers per hour.
Speed this up.
And then that's probably moving through. So we're moving light speed. That's why our thoughts probably move faster than light speed.
They had to create the light. In a way. Planets between Earth and Moon. And here go different ones. I'm gonna click on a pre-made one. A solar system with no sun. So how long will this last? Oh, here go all the planets just going all crazy. There go Venus, racing Mars. Mars is going out there. That he just off. There's no center point. But then they'll still do something. Let me speed this up a bit. See what happens. Even faster. Even faster. Oh, I can move this in 3 dimensions. They have this in VR too. If I had a VR set for the computer.
That's dope.
Alright, let's make an interesting one. Let's see if they got one with a comment. I think they do. They got Earth at 50,000 degrees Celsius. What if we had binary moons, 2 moons? Earth exploding in real time. Lock 2 Earths. Is it like, oh, it is, I'm on all. Alright. Let's click explosions. Just to make it interesting for YouTube. I'm gonna destroy a whole planet for you guys. I guess that's what Shiva's
We're
doing.
watching.
I guess Shiva just like. All right, let's see the sun and Jupiter. In this simulation, 100 Jupiters crash directly into the sun all in a row. The added mass causes the sun to go supernova. Okay. I'm down. Where is it at? Oh, we gotta get our orientation, right? It got me. I'm just floating through space. Wait, how do you zoom out? Sorry, guys. I have not played this in a while.
Look at the bottom. Look at the bottom buttons.
Yeah, it says edit, add, tools.
Recenter, maybe.
Let's stop it. Start it again. There we go. This is 20 suns. Just 20 Jupiters just being fed into the sun. Oof, whoa.
Dang.
Look how that gas expanding. Look up there. What's this? See that green at the top? Oh, they say it. Oh, another supernova. Wow. We did it, guys.
That's crazy.
Hey, now what is it? All right, let's see it. Let's see it till it's in. Let's zoom back out.
Probably the first
10,
one
I'm
blew
11,
up the rest of them.
The first one blew up the rest of them.
Yeah.
Let's go faster. Gonna keep expanding. I wonder if new stars will start forming. That's what happens in
Right.
supernovas usually.
Over time.
It's getting dark.
That's sort of dope.
Oh, that's beautiful. Let me see what audio they playing. Yeah, I'm get the audio on. And then like over here, depending on what angle you look at it, it changes its color. I wish I knew how big 66 AU is, but it must be miraculously big. We didn't form any stars this time, guys. No life was formed in this universe. Well, no carbon-based life. Got other life forms probably going on. Figure out what kind of gas this is. All right, let's run another one. Black hole and Earth.
Was that a free program?
I think it's about $20.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, I gotta do that again. That just happened. It just sucked it right up. Woo. I'm all like, where's the black hole? You can't see a black hole. That's basic. You ain't learned that in kindergarten. All right. Expectations will be different. Black hole and moon. Whoa! It's like had a gas explosion thing before. What was that? It turned into a sun. Wait a second. Wait, what? The black hole hit the thing and turned into a sun. It didn't do that the last time. Let's run it again.
It's approaching the black hole, I think. What's the
Hmm. Yeah, it says in a
diameter maybe
simulation, the
of
moon
it?
crashes directly and is swallowed up by a black hole,
Oh,
the mass of the sun. It's moving too. Oh, I could just stop it.
that's crazy.
Couple hundred kilometers, or like 200 kilometers. Americans, they need to put it in something else. Burgers, cows per burger. Son, that was a meme on Reddit. Hey, what you need? Oh, now it's changing in something else. Why? Yeah, why are you crying? Why are you crying? You okay? Alright. Let's do another one. Go ahead. Alright, let's just a random cool solar system. Planet, solar system, planet comparison. This is supposedly comparing the size of all the planets. According to the scientists' calculations. That's pretty cool. Imagine the planets in the sky we don't see. On the regular. There's way more in the sky. Look for yourself. Just take a couple grams. But I don't condone the use of illegal or legal drugs. Don't do what I say.
There's a in Betelgeuse. I think it's one of the stars in Orion.
Mm-hmm.
If Betelgeuse was at the center of our solar system, where it is, where the sun is, its shell, the outer side would reach towards Mars or Jupiter, I believe.
Whoa! It don't even fit here. It don't fit in our little puzzle that we got going on unless you destroy some things or move some things around. They have a whole different climate after that. But Beetlejuice, though, they named it Beetlejuice.
It's so funny. And it's spelled Betelgeuse.
You go to Saturn moons. No telling what life is on these planets, on these little moons. Like there's so many of them. What did I do? Put it down. I don't need you. Oh. Oh, I lost control. Alright, let's see another one. Last one, guys. I'm gonna get into this so I can see how to work it so we can really work around. Make some things happen. Galaxies. Let's go to a galactic scale. The Milky Way. The Milky Way, also known as the Silver River, the Bird's Path, the Winter Street. Imagine somebody say, man, I'm going to Winter Street real quick. And they mean they're going to the Milky Way. You don't know about Winter Street, man? They got so much going on. Especially in this one little pocket on the edge. This tiny little dot called Earth. And it's home to the Earth, spiral barrel. Yeah, y'all can read that. And look at the center. That spiral is nice. Yeah, one second for you. Unicorn. Horn. All right, there you go. All right, I'm about to be finished in a bit. Again about galaxy cluster. Yeah, what is up? What is down? I'm just turning around. Oh, they forming. They joining. We have fusion.
Stardate 4567. Captain's log.
Oh. Alright, we have a motion. New elements should start forming. Element B54. It's enough heat now. Wow, then it just went away. Didn't last pretty long, but it lasted 1.70 million years, guys. We held out that long. We held out 170 million years before life just gave for project changed up on us. It's this book called I'm gonna come back on this, guys, and Exile. I'm talking to you. I'm gonna come back to this Exile, but this is a cool game.
Sir.
But it was something I was about to tie it together with. Oh, but I ran past it.
Another day.
Yeah, another day. Another day, another tie. Thanks for coming by, Exile.
I appreciate you, man. Have a beautiful day.
Man, thanks for sharing your knowledge. And we're gonna
Happy season of the pumpkin.
Whoop whoop. Happy Spooktober. Let's do what we do best. And I hope y'all out there enjoyed all these conversations. And remember to have conversation in y'all neck of the woods. And let us know what y'all was probably tying on. Or any information or anything y'all got. Y'all know what it's about. Peace. Or a tie always. Enjoy y'all day.